Hello, everyone. Today I'm bringing a very interesting and important topic to all of you, that is introduction to machine learning. Because you see that in current days, any examination, specifically if you see the question paper of APSC mains, you'll find this topic very common. That is artificial intelligence, machine learning, right? And different technologies related to artificial intelligence. I'll bring a separate lecture on artificial intelligence also. And this today, I'll discuss from very basic about machine learning to an advanced level. Okay, so I'll discuss everything, those which you have to know about machine learning. Maybe this lecture will be extended to one more lecture. Then again, we will discuss in details about the artificial intelligence. Specifically, these lectures are prepared by keeping in mind about the upcoming APSC interview, because question may be asked on this topic, and those who are preparing for APSC and UPSC means any examination related to this. So let's begin today's lecture, Introduction to Machine Learning. So our this lecture will cover these topics. You can see here, introduction to machine learning, history of machine learning life cycle, types of learning, and different applications. Understanding machine learning with an analogy. You can see here in this picture, how you choose the best mangoes. Bright yellow mangoes are sweeter, soft mangoes are juicier, green mangoes are tastier than the yellow ones. But every time you make a new observation from your experiments, you have to modify the list of rules manually, right? This is where machine learning comes into picture. What I mean to say, suppose if you go to the market, if you want to choose a good quality mango, then you have to go through this with some previously experimented facts that yes, this is a bright yellow mango, so it will be sweeter. Suppose it is soft, if you toss it and if you find soft, then it is juicier. So every time you need to make some observation and you have to modify the list of rules. If you find with some experiment that yes, it is yellow but it is its skin is soft, then it turns out to be, suppose what I can say, that some different taste that you don't like, then you have to manually add that rule or that particular means experiments or your experience manually. Means you, next time when you again come, you will avoid those type of mangoes, right? But we are doing everything manually. Now we want something which will make this some kind of automotive or some kind of automated process. So what is machine learning? In the real world, we are surrounded by humans who can learn everything from their experiences with their learning capability, and we have computers or machines which work on our instructions. But can a machine also learn from experiences or past data like a human does? Just, just I have given you an example of buying mangoes. You are, every time you are buying, and when you go for buying, then you are comparing the mangoes, or you are choosing the mango based on the experiences that you already had from the earlier buyings, right? So same type of thing, can machine learn from the past experiments? So of course they can, but for that they need what? Machine learning. So you can see in this picture, human, I can learn everything automatically from experiences. Can you learn? Then machine is saying, yes, I can also learn from past data with the help of machine learning. So machine learning, a kind of learning, which learning to whom? Means learning is given to machine so that they can understand the past data, and based on those understanding, they can derive or they can choose the present data wisely. Okay. So machine learning is said as a subset of artificial intelligence that is mainly concerned with the development of algorithms which allow a computer to learn from the data and past experiences on their own. Remember, I told you I'll bring separate lecture on artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence just telling you in brief that a kind of intelligence that we are pushing to the machines artificially. You know, machine don't have some inborn talent or inborn intelligence with them, and intelligence is the term which denotes the capability by which a particular means human being or a particular you can say in case of machine can decide by its own that what to do at what situation, or you can say if it gets some inputs how to respond to those input, right? That is the intelligence, and as we are pushing it artificially, so it is known as artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is the way by which machine can decide by itself at what to do at what with respect to different situations. Okay, so the term machine learning, this was first introduced by Arthur Samuel in 1959. Machine learning enables a machine automatically learn from the data, improve performances from the experiments, and predict things without being explicitly programmed. So you got it. In 1959, Arthur Samuel brought this term machine learning. So remember, without data, machine learning is nothing. So we need data. We need data to feed to the machine, and based on the data, machine will learn, and thereby they will come to a stage that if we feed new data, then they can decide by their own to predict something out of that data. See, this is Arthur Samuel. What he defines that the machine learning is the field of study that gives computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Explicitly programmed means we have to manually program everything to perform a particular task or separate tasks. Right? Suppose there are two tasks, one task T1, one task T2. So we need to program different programs for performing those different T1 and T2 tasks. But if it is machine learning, then what happens? Then we don't need such type of explicit programming. Machine will be enabled in such a way that it can automatically decide that what to do for the task T1, what to do for the task T2. There's a famous book, you can see, Tom Mitchell's This Machine Learning. He defined that a computer program is said to learn from experience E with some class of tasks T and a performance measure P if its performance at tasks in T as measured by P improves with E. Means every time with experience, it is improvising its performance. So you see, is it a magic? No, it's more like gardening. Gardening, you know, you all know how to do the gardening. Maybe some of you are not aware of it, or some of you may not make time for this. But gardening is a very good thing. Even if you can mention this gardening as your habit in your APSC interview or UPSC one. Okay. So gardening, what do we need? Seeds, right? Nutrients, then gardener, right? Then plants. So in this case, seeds are the algorithms, nutrients are the data, gardener like you and me, and plants are the programs. Algorithm, so I hope those who are from computer science background, you already know. But those who are from different background, so don't worry, I'm telling you, algorithm is a kind of set of instructions. So that set of instruction together, they will instruct the particular computer to perform a particular task. I hope you all know about quadratic equation. So I can write some algorithm to find out the roots of that quadratic equation. Right? You know, ax square plus bx plus c, this type of equation. Then you also know b square minus 4ac, this type of discriminant. We try to find out the value of the discriminant. Based on that, we try to find out whether roots will be equal or kind of real or some complex. Yes. So we can write algorithm to solve such problem. So in this case, seeds are the algorithm. Then nutrients means data. If I told you, if data is not there, then algorithms are nothing. What on the algorithms will work on what? Will work on data, right? Similarly, the seeds, we need that they need nutrients, either that is organic nutrients or some artificial nutrients, but they should be provided some nutrients. Then gardener should be there, like you and me, and then plants are the programs. Now, difference, machine learning and traditional programming. What you are doing, suppose they are traditional programming. Traditional programming means data is there, data is provided, program is feed. So data is feed to that program, then what happens? You will get some output from the computer. But in case of machine learning, so it is something different. Data is provided, output is also provided. Computer learn from those experiences from that output, and accordingly it will come up with a program that will automate the process. Okay, so if you see the history of machine learning, you see that this is actually the father of all, that is artificial intelligence. So under artificial intelligence, we have machine learning, deep learning, and different other fields. Current day we have industry 4.0. In case of industry 4.0, this type of emerging technologies are included, like Internet of Things, machine learnings, right? Deep learning, this type of things are included to fasten the industrial orientation process or those different processes related to industry. Right. Now, artificial intelligence, then there come machine learning, and under that, there's a particular field that is deep learning. So you can see the definition here. Artificial intelligence, I told you, any technique that enables computers to mimic human intelligence. Mimic human intelligence means it will behave like a human, right? Using logic, if-then rules, decision trees, and machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of AI that includes abstruse statistical techniques that enables machines to improve at tasks with experience. That the category also includes in deep learning. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning composed of algorithms that permit software to train itself to perform tasks like speech and image recognition by exposing multi-layered neural networks to vast amount of data. I'll just give you an example. Google Lens. Suppose if you have an image, now you can search easily in the Google that what type of image is that, or what is that particular specimen in that image. You can do that. I hope you all have even tried it also, right? So that is possible through a complex networking, that is deep learning. That is a part of neural network, and neural network is a mimicry of human brain, human neurons. Well, I'm not going into the depth of that neural network, but if you ask me to go for that, if you ask me in the comment that, sir, please make a video on that neural network, or whatever the topics if you want me to discuss, and obviously I will go for it. Don't worry. Use the comment section. You just message me that you want this particular topic to be discussed. I'll elaborate that. But right now, I'm discussing those facts only which are important for your APSC and UPSC examination point of view. Now, how does the machine work? You see, training, input, pass data, machine learning algorithm, learn from the data. See, data is everywhere. Learn data from data, it is learning. Then building some logical models. And again, you feed up the new data, and then it will analyze the data based on the past experience, and it will predict the output. Okay. You know about that weather forecasting, right? Tomorrow weather will be like this, that 34 degrees centigrade, or it's going to be humid like by this mass percentage, or it is going to be rain. So what are they actually? They are nothing but some application of machine learning. Those are prediction, and prediction is possible from this machine learning. Now, training phase. You take a randomly training. See, training phase means we are training the machine. We are making the machine learn from the input data. So you take a randomly selected specimen of mangoes from the market, training data, make a table of all the physical characteristics of each mango, like, color, size, shape, grown in which part of the country, sold by which vendor. Like, these are the features. This term is important. These are the features like color, size, shape. These are the features. Then along with the sweetness, juiciness, ripeness of that mango. That is the output variable. Now, you feed this data to the machine learning algorithm, and it learns a model of the correlation between an average mango's physical characteristics and its quality. And thereby, it comes up with building a model. So after that, after training phase is the most important one, right? Where we feed the most amount of data. Suppose we have a data set, collection of data elements, in this case, say this mango data. So we will feed around 70 to 80% data to the training phase and remaining ones only for the testing phase. So next time when you go shopping, you will measure the characteristics of the mangoes which you are purchasing, that is test data, and feed it to the machine learning algorithm. It will use the model which was computed earlier to predict if the mangoes are sweet, ripe, or juicy. And you can make your algorithm improve over time so that it will improve its accuracy as it gets trained on more and more training data set. In case it makes a wrong prediction, it will update its rule by itself. Are you getting it? So what happens that it will try to improvise its output every time it is getting the data, and thereby its accuracy is improving, right? Accuracy means the accuracy measures that how much correct output it is giving. So you can just answer in the comment that whether machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, yes or no. Now you see that machine learning, what is machine learning, how it works. Now let's come to the classification of machine learning. Machine learning basically you will find supervised and unsupervised, and one more, reinforcement learning. Supervised learning means what? Some supervisor will be there, like supervised, जैसे मैं अभी आप लोगों को इसके बारे में डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ, right? तो মই কি হম, মই এজন supervisor হম, বা আপোনালোকে মোক কিবা শিকাই আছে, you are teaching me something, so you will be my supervisor. So supervisor means what? Someone will be there to train you, right? Supervised learning is the types of machine learning in which machines are trained using well-leveled training data. So level data. Level means what? You know, na? Suppose A, B, C. A is the level for that particular item. That item is A. Suppose mango. Suppose item B, that is say apple. So these are the level training data, and on the basis of that data, machines predict the output. Now level data means some input data is already tagged with the correct output. ये mango है तो ये mango, ये apple है तो ये apple. ये suppose ये mango का ही लेते हैं तो ये mango suppose sweet है तो sweet mango, ripe mango, তেনেকে তোমাৰ suppose yellow mango, এনেকে এইবিলাক tag থাকিব. These tags will be there. Now, supervised machine learning, this is similar to a teacher-student scenario. There is a teacher who guides the student to learn from the books and other materials, and the student is then tested. After the training phase, it will be tested that are you getting means correct answer or not. If correct, the student passes, else the teacher tunes the student and makes the student learn from the mistakes that he or she had made in the past. This is the basic principle of supervised learning. Let me give you an example of supervised learning. Suppose you have a niche who has just turned 2 years old and is learning to speak, and you want to teach her what a dog and cat is. So what do? You either show her videos of dogs and cats, or you bring a dog and a cat and show them into her in real life and features of cat and dog so that she can understand how they are different. Are you getting me? Na? You are teaching your niche. So you bring this cat and dog to her. You'll show that these are the features of the cat, these are the features of the dog. And now, if she is able to differentiate between dog and cat, you have successfully taught her. I mean, next time if you bring a new cat in front of her, if you successfully identify that this is cat, then that means that you successfully taught her. So you acted as the supervisor, and your niche acted as the algorithm that had to learn, making sure that she was learning the correct thing. That is the principle of supervised learning. So supervised learning is the one where you have input variables X and output variable Y, and you use an algorithm to learn the mapping function from the input to output. So Y is equal to X. Got it? Means this output is coming from the input, right? And obviously you are not getting the same input as output. Maybe you are getting the same, but there should be a mapping. So the mapping is F. Now goal is to approximate the mapping function so well that whenever you get some new input data X, the machine can easily predict the output variable Y for that data. So how it works? See, you are providing the level data, These are the levels. So you can see different type of shapes here, like this is a hexagon, this is a triangle, this is a square. You can see here, these are the levels. The model is being trained. Then they again new data is fed. Suppose this is the test data, new data. New data means test data means untagged data. मतलब यहाँ कोई टैग नहीं है, यहाँ कोई लेवल नहीं है जे एटु इज ए हेक्सा, एटु इज ए स्क्वायर, एटु इज ए ट्रायंगल, एटु एकु लिखित हुआ ना है, दे आर नॉट टैग. तो आप ये टेस्ट डाटा फीड कर रहे हो, नया डाटा, राइट, न्यू डाटा. तो दिस मीन्स इफ द मशीन successfully identify, or if that model successfully identify that this is a square, this is a triangle, this means your supervised learning is successfully worked. Okay, so you see supervised learning. Under that also we have two different types, regression and classification. Regression means calculating some continuous and real value. Suppose you are trying to predict the temperature, age, salary, price, sale, means some numerical value is there. Okay, इतना temperature होगा, 23 डिग्री होगा, 24 डिग्री होगा, तो ये सब कुछ values है, तो वो होगा आपका regressions, जो किसीमान numerical value था कि वो. Then classifications means you are just classifying it, identifying it, that whether this or that, yes or no, pass or fail, spam or not spam. You know na, spam or not spam means spam mail or not spam mail, cat or dog. These are the labels and these are the classes, and that can be called as the target labels or category. And this type of supervised learning is known as classification. So monot rakhiba, regression means this ka koi numerical value output hoga. Classification means what? There will be some labels. Unsupervised machine learning, from the name it is clear that there will be no such supervisor there. So means the machine will be trained with unlabeled data set. The goal of the unsupervised learning is to find the underlying structure of the data set, group the data according to some similarities, and represent the data set in a compressed format. Mathematically, what happens that unsupervised learning is where you only have input data X and no corresponding output variable. Well, this category of machine learning is known as unsupervised learning because no supervisor is there. So it works on the basis of homogeneity or similarity. Mane input data, you will feed the input data based on some similar you will classify. That means that model will classify them into different groups, and each group is known as cluster. See here, these are the input data, unlabeled data, no label or no tag is there that this is the cat, this is the dog. These things are not here. So after interpretation, after processing, this model will output as these are the dogs, is a separate cluster or is a separate different group, and these are the cats is a separate group. So this is an unsupervised learning. Got it? In case of supervised learning, we again have two types. Clustering, I just told you, if we are dividing into some groups, they are known as clusters, right? Clustering based on homogeneous criteria. Homogeneous criteria means, see, dogs have some similar features, cats have some similar features, but dogs may be different from cats with respect to some certain features, right? So they are possessing some some uncommon things. That's why they are belonging to different groups. Means data point belonging to the same group, possessing same similarities, and belonging to a different group, they will possess different qualities or different characteristics. Then association means X, if X then Y. Mane, suppose if I'm going to give you an example, association means finding out the rules. Suppose you have a shop and you are selling the milk, right? And if you put some another related items like bread, eggs, then what happens? Suppose if a person comes for buying the milk, then if he or she sees that bread is also there or egg is also there, then there's a probability that he or she is going to purchase that bread also. Means 1 liter milk with 1 bread, then 1 butter, like that, 1 liter milk with 1 dozen eggs. So what happens that we can frame some rules. Suppose if X, then Y. If some person is buying bread, then there's a probability that he is also going to buy egg. So this type of rules are what actually try to be framed in association. Association means what? एक दूसरे के बीच एक association लाना, rules को frame करना, ठीक है? So that is association. This is also an unsupervised learning. Reinforcement learning मतलब क्या होता है? Reinforcement learning means what? Each time the machine tries to learn from the feedback, right? Reinforcement learning is a kind of feedback-based machine learning technique in which an agent or that machine learns to behave in an environment by performing the actions and seeing the results of the actions. For each good action, the agent gets positive feedback, and for each bad action, the agent gets negative feedback. মানে যদি কি হব, যদি if that agent works fine, means if that agent is working correctly, then it will be rewarded. Suppose if it is doing something wrong, then it will be penalized. So each time it works on the basis of feedback based, means from the feedback it is trying to improvise at every step. You can cite examples like game playing, robotics falling under reinforcement learning. Let me again give you a question that regression is an unsupervised learning. Is it correct or no? Yes or no? Answer the question or comment. Okay, so machine learning life cycle, if you can see that first we are gathering the data, then we preparing the data preparation, data wrangling, then analyzing the data, training the model, testing the model, and then deployment. This is the life cycle. Okay, some different sources from where you can get some data. Obviously this is not for your concern, but those who are trying to do some further research work on machine learning, you can get some free data from these sites. You can take a screenshot here, like from UCI machine learning repository. You can have some data, like again from the Kaggle data set you can have some different types of data set. Then similarly from AWS, right? Now about the applications, machine learning have means different application. You can see in fact in every field nowadays we are using machine learning, like automatic language retranslation, medical diagnosis, stock market trading, online fraud detection. You can see in the YouTube some comments are given in some regional language. Then you'll see one particular sentence below that comment that one thing, do you want it to convert into English? So it is what actually language translation is happening, and this is also through machine learning. Similarly, online fraud detection, virtual personal assistant, like you can see here Amazon, then email spam and malware filtering, self-driving cars, Tesla, where self-driving cars mean driverless cars are there, and that is possible for what? Machine learning. Machine learning means image recognition and then object detection. So that is a part of example of computer vision also, which is a subset of artificial intelligence. Then traffic prediction, speech recognition. Suppose I am speaking in Hindi, say in Assamese, say if it is being converted into English, then that is a kind of what? Natural language processing. And speech recognition, I'm saying something in some different regional language, it is being converted into English, then there is a speech recognition can happen. Image recognition, suppose I am showing you a picture, I am showing the machine a picture of suppose a monkey. If it correctly identifies that which particular breed of monkey is this, so that is also image recognition. So there are different type of examples, right? So product recommendation, nowadays if you see, if you open some online site, and if you are purchasing, suppose say what I can say it as an example, say you are purchasing some kind of earphone, or suppose earphone, say, then similarly some another recommendation like similar type of data, similar type of speakers, that will be shown to you that persons buying earphone are also purchasing this. So these are what? These are product recommendation. Then that is also possible through association mining, or just I have taught you about association of unsupervised learning. So that is also part of machine learning, right? Then virtual personal assistants. Now you heard about Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant, Cortana. What are they actually? They are your personal assistant. You can search your files. You can you say some particular song or whatever you want to ask. You want to ask those particular assistant to find that particular file or find that song or whatever it is. So they are working as your personal assistant, but they are virtual personal assistant, and they have been taught using machine learning, right? Self-driving car, I already gave you an example. Google Translation is also very famous example of machine learning. You can see in the YouTube that say you are writing in Assamese, and there some message, someone who wants to read it in English, then he can easily translate it into English through the Google Translate, right? So there are different examines applications, a variety of applications of machine learning, like online video streaming. If you have Netflix subscribe, then when you are suppose looking for some thriller movie, you have just gone through one thriller movie, then Netflix will recommending you similar type of thrillers movies to you, right? That is again an example of what? That is an example of machine learning. Then fraud detection can be also done. Then similar other type of, suppose terrorist detection in railway station, that is again an example of machine learning, where we can use what? Computer vision techniques. So you have seen there are variety of applications we are using through some different machine learning algorithm. So in this lecture, we have discussed everything important. Everything means important points or important discussions on machine learning. I tried my best to include every possible terminologies related to machine learning. Still, if I miss something, you can just make me recall through comment. And also, don't forget to tell me that whether these topics that I discuss are clear to you or not. So very soon, I'm bringing one lecture on artificial intelligence. Till then, I'm ending this session, and okay, we'll meet in the next lecture. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.